Hello, I'm Toycat, and in 2019, I challenged myself to get every single full block that existed and could be obtained in survival. All the way from acacia wood down to yellow wool, I have every single block that existed at that point in Minecraft, but then you know what happened? Minecraft started adding new blocks. In 1.16, they added so many new blocks, in fact, that I decided I had to collect them all and add them to my collection, and so I even added the non-block items that came in that update. It's very nice, I think, but here's the problem. 1.17 has gone and done it again. They've added over 100 new blocks and items to the game, and while if we look at this list, we can obviously discount spawn eggs as not being obtainable in survival, as well as budding amethyst because it can't be moved, that still means there are 99 other items and blocks. 10 of these are clearly items that you can't place down, but that means 89 separate blocks have to be added to the collection, which really, or 89 separate blocks and partial blocks have to be added, and that really puts in perspective just how big this update can be in terms of blocks, but it also puts some perspective as to like, oh man, this is a big challenge, huh? In today's video, I'm going to be making right here a collection of every single 1.17 block. It's going to be a lot of fun, but let's get straight into it. And a pro tip, if you have an old world, you can't find most of the new blocks in your existing chunks. You have to find new ones, so let's go away to a place where we can find those things. And so here I am, literally 4,000 blocks away in a chunk that I know I haven't been to before, which is how I'm going to find these new blocks. But in case you're curious and you don't know what parts of your world are explored, I think the easiest thing is find somewhere that looks new and then just look underground. If you find a single glow lichen or a single copper ore, there we go, you know you're in a brand new chunk, and therefore, look at this by the way, first block already gathered. Wow, isn't that delightful? And glow lichens themselves are of course not only a great light source that allow you to indicate old chunks versus new ones, I think it really is a cool feature for that reason, but also it's a brand new, it's not really a block, I would say it's like kind of like an item that works like a block, or it's like a partial block we could say. It's more like vines than it is like a wood block. But still, we've got ourselves one of these handy new blocks, and now if we want to get ourselves some deep slate, which you better believe we do, we're going to go underground. And on the way underground, I'm going to be mining a ton of copper, because if you want to get all the blocks in this update, you need so much copper, so mine it with a fortune pickaxe, as I'd say all the time, because you get up to 12 copper each and every time you mine one of these, which is very handy in my opinion. Also, it spawns super frequently when you're this high up above the ground. Like, seriously, look how much copper I'm getting my hands on. Too much copper, some people would say. By the way, a pro tip in this update is if you want to get your hands on pretty much all of the blocks, just go down between layers 0 and 16. You'll find some tough blocks over here. You'll find some deep slate blocks over here. If you mine them with a silk touch pickaxe, you get deep slate back. If you mine them with a non-deep slate pickaxe, you get a cobbled deep slate back. And with very little effort at all, you can get your hands on a ton of deep slate, which is going to be useful because a lot of the blocks in this update, you know, we say they're at 89, but so many of those truly are just variants. And so what's the solution to needing lots of variants? Just get so many versions of the block that you can make all the possible variants without ever running out. Boom. Easy idea. I've already mentioned a ton of times on my channel, but this deep slate copper will only generate in 1.17. It is meant to stop existing as of 1.18, which is kind of cool to have as part of my collection in my opinion. Ooh, deep slate gold. That will exist in 1.18, but it's nice to see anyway. So another useful source of blocks is to scour your oceans. This seems like a joke, and it feels, see, it seems like a joke until you find one, but you can find amethyst geodes at the surface of your oceans. They're not meant to generate on the surface of the world, but the world and the ocean are apparently different things, according to Minecraft. Look, okay, I don't question it. I just take the lovely, wonderful jingle jangle blocks, and I like the noises that they make. So, yeah, amethyst geodes are of course a great way to find all of these blocks. You can't take this block right here with you no matter what you do. Just to show you this though, even though it pains me, because it seems like you should be able to take a silk touch pickaxe and take these budding amethyst blocks and take them with you. However, if we mine one of these, what we get is nothing. We don't even get a block back to be like, oh yeah, well, it's fine. When you break these, nothing pops out. Whereas you can mine the regular amethyst blocks around them, and you can, of course, also mine any crystals that come out. I guess that's the closest to what we've got. And yeah, we're going to take all of those crystal stages with us, even though they don't feel like they should count as real blocks, like, you know, a large amethyst bud, or whatever this is. Is this a budding crystal? I don't know what this is. Oh, it's another large amethyst bud. But yeah, there's lots of growth stages of crystals that you can take with you if you want to. Okay, this is definitely a small crystal, right? Yeah, look at this thing. If this is a large amethyst bud, this is a small amethyst bud. And so yeah, we're going to collect all of these blocks right here, including all of this calcite. I felt like it might be fun at some point to deliberately collect calcite. It is such a ludicrously rare block in Minecraft that I don't even understand. Like, as far as decorative blocks go, I don't think we have a block this... Oh, shouldn't have done that to myself. I don't think we have a block that is this absurdly rare for no amazingly good reason. But yeah, it exists, and you can grab as much of it as you like. And we'll also take some amethyst with us, because you know what? It's a really pretty jingly-jangly block, so I want to have a ton of it. Even when you mine this block, it just makes the most beautiful noise. Like, how can anyone not like amethyst geodes? You know, say what you want about this update, and maybe the lack of other things we have, but amethyst geodes are a perfection, and if you don't agree, then you're not perfection. Sorry, hate to break it to you. Are you just learning right now from the Minecraft YouTuber? Okay, so yeah, as you can see, things are going very well here. Except for the Enderman. But the other reason you want to spend so long scouring your oceans, which now, because of the new water vision, you actually want to do from under the water rather than over it. I like that change. Is because shipwrecks are now especially valuable. I've searched so many shipwrecks, and I'm praying that the next one I find is going to be the one that can contain moss, because right now that and the Wandering Trader are your only way to get certain items that exist. Okay, this is my third attempt today. I really believe that if we can just stay strong, damn it, it's just treasure and paper. I really believe that if we can... Oh, it's a leather tunic with blast protection and suspicious stew. That is not what I wanted at all. I mean, you know what they say, right? Fourth time is the charm. Oh, this one's got coral literally generating inside of it. That does not bode... I physically cannot get in this thing. I guess I'm gonna mine myself an entrance? Nope, not gonna work. Okay, I'm hammering down the door. I'm trying to make this work as hard as I can. Okay, there we go. We got light now. Okay, there we go. I've got oxygen. I've got maybe a source of light, and maybe... Oh, there we go. Look at this. I have, in fact, found the captain's room. You know what? This amount of iron and this number of emeralds would be cool normally, but not today. Not today. So we might have to wait on the shipwreck game, because I keep finding geodes, which is nice, you know? More geodes, more better. But I really want to find a shipwreck to get that moss going. In the meantime, I've used up all my deep slate, even just marking this out. We'll use obsidian for the rest. That seems smart. Is that an ocean monument over there? Did I find an ocean monument before I found a shipwreck that contains one block? Yes, I did. Is that a second geode just over there? You know, this is the weird world of Minecraft 1.17. Okay, I'm back and I'm ready to make my 1.17 monument. I was looking at 1.16, it's hard not to say, okay? And as you can see, I've got myself a fun little variety of blocks that we can later place down. But before we can place down any of these weird, wacky blocks that we picked up, we need a place to do so. And so I was thinking immediately, like, the thing that comes to mind is deep slate. Deep slate would be the really fun equivalent to, like, nether bricks, maybe, but it doesn't quite work. I think we might need to use a deep slate variant, so allow me to. Okay, so this might seem like I'm joking, but I swear this is what you do if you want to get your deep slate and you want to turn it into some tiled deep slate. So first of all, you have to mine it with a non-silk touch pickaxe, because you can only start this process with cobbled deep slate, as strange as that might seem. And then you take this newfound cobbled deep slate and you turn it into polished deep slate. It gets polished by combining 4 of them together. Don't question it, okay? But it's what happens. Then you can take 4 of those polished deep slate and you make deep slate bricks. Again, don't question it, it's what happens. Then when you have 8 of those deep slate bricks, you can make some deep slate tiles. It magically happens, we don't question it, we already agreed good on that one. And now we have ourselves these deep slate tiles, which as you can see are very good looking bricks. I'd say they look very similar to nether brick when you put them side by side, but I like the look of them and they're a good way to kind of signify this is cave update blocks. We're gonna need a lot more than 8 of them though. What do you reckon? I'm gonna need at least like 12, maybe even like 20 to make an area the size of that one, but we'll see. So I guess alongside placing all of these deep slate tiles, I'm gonna have to do a lot of destroying of this mountain while very, very, very carefully avoiding my Elder Guardian, which is in the museum over there. Should be easy. Let's give it a try. Yeah, I actually really like the look of it when we use the deep slate tiles and the calcite. It has a similar effect while still being different, and I think that's kind of cool. Also, you know, this is weird. You can't craft calcite slabs. Why can this, a stone material, not be turned into a slab if deep slate and copper can? I don't understand. I feel like I'm missing something. My plan is, by the way, to make these numbers, but for 1.17 and out of copper. I'm curious to see how that goes. By the way, that was 100 copper ore that turned into this. A 1 that I'll admit looks pretty good, and then a 7 that looks maybe less than good. So I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna mine some more copper, and I'm also gonna mine some entire amethyst geodes because I need a lot more of this calcite. And probably I need to mine this mountain as well. There's a lot of mining that has to be done, which is good because I hear a cave update just came out. While I was on my way to the overworld again, I picked up 2 more wither skulls. Either looting is broken or I'm having the best luck of my life today. And you know what? I'm happy with either situation. Whoa, look at this. This is an amethyst geode that has intruded into a shipwreck. I'm telling you, no one thinks about it, but because calcite is this block that only generates in the amethyst geodes, it's one of the rarer blocks in Minecraft, and I'm sure at some point in the future they'll make it not just naturally generating, but if you want to get your hands on some calcium, because apparently calcite is made from calcium, that's not an error I made speaking, it is definitely just a fact. And so, as a result, if you want to get your hands on it, you gotta do so now. By the way, one of my pet peeves on YouTube is people doing off-camera mining, you know, like as a way to be like, yeah, we just kind of, you know, do you really care if I mine legit? You know, I kind of do. And if you also like pure survival, because I think that's a fun way to play Minecraft, then hey, here, you can actually go watch the 2 hours of off-camera mining. I did it as a live stream. I almost always do. And we're going to go back into that same mine where we found all the deep slate ores, bar 1, because those are the rarest things you can find. And we're going to try and find some copper around here. Honestly, we should probably just mine from the side of this up. See, this can't happen when you're off-camera mining, and it's part of the fun. You never know when something terrible is going to happen. By the way, a pro tip for copper is trying to find it at the same layer as diamonds will work, but like not great. You can find a lot more if you go slightly higher up, about layer 36 or so, and then don't fall into lava. Okay, I've smelted myself a ton of copper ingots, but the sad thing about copper, because it takes 9 to a block, is you take all of the copper from that giant mining trip, and you get 29 blocks of copper, which you can then cut up, sure. But then making that into stairs gets expensive. But you know, we're going to need a stone cutter for all of this is what I'm saying. And now we can have ourselves some cut copper slabs and some cut copper stairs. Pro tip, if you're ever going to craft any type of stairs, always do it using a stone cutter. The stone cutter is a life-saving tool for this exact sort of thing. And I guess that's all the copper recipes. Is it really only those? So although there are a few blocks we actually have to craft and find, I mean, the powdered snow bucket, which is still the weirdest way to transport a block away. You know, it feels kind of weird still, right? So this is one of the blocks we have to get. We have to get our hands on all of the deep slate ores, which we thankfully went mining for. And then the other kind of weird and unique block is probably tinted glass and all the new moss stuff. So let's grab some crystals. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's make some tinted glass. But the interesting thing about this update is even though I say 89 blocks, it's kind of one of those like, it's true, but it feels mildly like a lie at the same time things, right? Like there are, 89 brand new blocks, sure. But of those 89 blocks, what number of variants allow me to show you right now? So yeah, here's what we literally have to do. It's a little bit, I would say, time intensive. Maybe even so time intensive, we don't manage to finish this today. But we have to make 8 of every type of copper tool, because there's cut copper stairs, which we place here, 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 and I'm sure you get it by now. And then we place some cut copper slabs, which go here, 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 and then also over there and there. And then, get this is crazy, this is unpredictable, we also have to place some cut copper over here, 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 and then also in the gap that I haven't filled in yet. And then, whoa, the final thing that no one could have predicted, it's going to be some regular blocks of copper. Honestly, I think blocks of coppers look so much prettier than any of these other types. I wish there was not cut copper stairs. I wish it was just regular copper. But fine, you know what? We place all of these down. And this is, by itself, 32 separate blocks. We have to wait for some of them to weather, and then we have to, obviously, place down our honeycomb on some of those blocks, but not the other ones. And then, there we go. That's all that we do. In the meantime, though, the much bigger task is obviously we have to fill in this calcite and make the ground a lot less ugly. And we have to remove this mountain all the way up to over there. So I'm going to need a lot of buckets of milk for this. Okay, the mountain is mostly destroyed, but I think the bigger mistake was placing down all this copper next to the copper that's meant to be 1.17, because now you can't even it's just a mess. You see it all together. I think it'd be better to put it all in rows maybe in this direction. So that's what I'm going to do instead. Okay, I finally rearranged it. I think this is a much better way to show off all the copper blocks, and then we'll try and have more of the bluey copper towards the back to prevent this getting too messy, I hope. Honestly, now I just have to wait and see for this to age. So in the meantime, luckily enough, I do have a ton of deep slate that I've got a whole 58 of it that I'm going to craft into every single type stonecutter thing, because the stonecutter is so much better than manually trying to craft. So we'll make one of those, we'll make one of these, all the way through. It's gonna be good. Okay, this is every single variant of deep slate that I can think of that exists. Can you get deep slate walls that are just the regular cobbled one? We should try. Oh, you can, and it's already in here. Okay, well that's a good sign. The one block I thought we were missing, we do in fact have. So then we move on to amethyst, and we move on to the amethyst crystals, which will probably have to go around here somewhere. Okay, smooth basalt and calcite and dripstone and the lovely glowberries, which is still only found in mineshafts right now. And then next to those, we'll throw one of these powdered snow blocks. It just seems so unimpressive, you know? I know you can freeze in this, but it just doesn't seem like it belongs here with all these, new blocks, but it is one of the new ones. Then we need to get enough copper to, enough iron to make a raw iron block, a raw gold block, and then we need to get all of the ores, which I guess we'll do in a big row over here. So, yeah, well, actually, let's get all the deep slate ores, and let's make a raw iron and a raw gold block, and that can be like the ore section. And then I think we've done like 98% of it or something done. Okay, I have an embarrassing admission to make. I have deep slate iron, I have deep slate gold, I have deep slate lapis, deep slate redstone, deep slate copper, and even the super rare deep slate emerald. But right now, there is a bug in how diamonds generate. And it also makes deep slate diamonds rarer than they already would be, which is already very rare. And basically, I've seen a few people get their hands on deep slate diamonds. It exists, but not without spending hours. So I think what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna wait until it does get patched out. I'm hoping tomorrow, it's Let's Play Monday. So tomorrow, let's play Tuesday, we fix it. Next week's episode, a live stream. I don't know what the plan is, but it's sad because we've got all these delightful new ore blocks and we can't get the coolest one because of so many Minecraft bugs that exist right now. If you're watching this video from the future, they made a bug that made diamonds about 3 times less likely, as well as making it significantly harder to spawn, generating facing air or replacing deep slate. Basically, it's something like 100 times rarer than it should be to find deep slate diamonds, which seems pretty absurd given how rare it would be anyway. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna ignore that and be like, yeah, what if we just didn't though? So we're gonna place our deep slate, we're gonna place our blocks down here, and then we're gonna place our ores, I think in a lovely little pattern, right? Yeah, I wanna make like a wall of ores. I should have done it really somewhere before this. All the way at the back? No, I need to have the title be visible. What if I do it down the sides? Yeah, I guess it's kind of like between these. No, I want it to be like left to right wall. I guess we'll just do them all in front of each other. Let's alphabetically order the ores, shall we? And then we'll have a little space at the end here where my copper ore goes. And we've now got every single ore bar this sad space that I have to leave so I can get deep slate diamond. I mean, it would look so nice, right? It would fit in the collection, very, very fun, in my opinion. But I can't have it. And then also, we have to get all of the moss-based blocks. I haven't found a single moss block yet. Is this my first failed challenge? I think it might be. Honestly, my biggest life regret is deciding to put that Elder Guardian in, and I just keep on living with it thinking, you know what, it's fine. I like drinking milk this many times a minute. It's really fun, the amount of milk I end up drinking, just so I can work on the place where I'm getting all the blocks. But yeah, over the last week, it's been pretty crazy, and it's been a great example of one of those things that I would describe of like, yeah, this has been a time of extreme craziness. This time in the up direction, and it proves a really interesting, like my instinct, and my instinct is against doing this. But whenever something really bad happens on YouTube, I feel like every YouTuber's like, yeah, this is like entirely algorithm-based faults, and we do live in a world of like the algorithm can decide to kill your channel. But when something goes really well, it's like, yeah, but this is all me, I think you'll find. And it's kind of a funny inconsistency, in my opinion. I don't know if it even is an inconsistency. Like, I really do think that we put way more emotion into our own thoughts and feelings than we do into other people's. Like, when you see someone that does something bad, that person is bad. When you do a bad thing, well, like, you're in a hurry. You've got the justifications for it. And I feel like we do the same thing, not just for good and bad, but sometimes for like, I don't know, literally how well you perform. Like, well, you see, the reason I'm a very successful YouTuber, it's not all that luck in, deciding, even though everyone years ago told me, in 2012, people were like, yeah, it's too saturated now. The market for making game videos is already too filled. And, people have been saying that every year. And like, I decided to enter the saturated field of making videos dumbly, and I did something I enjoyed, even when there was no money. This was a bad decision, but actually, no, this is me being brave. Toy Cat the hero, going against all those sorts of things, when in reality, like, a decent amount, again, if we see something that's successful, we ignore all the failures that could have come along with it, and we're just like, wow, that's a really good idea that led to that. Oh, you're saying follow your dreams is a great idea? And I feel like we always need to re-remind that, like, yeah, actually, following dreams isn't that great all the time. You're not following my dream to have all of the 1.17 blocks. I don't think it's going to be successful. I'm like, I got the bulk of them so easily, and it's kind of beautiful. But as you get towards the end here, it makes you realize it's going to be kind of hard. Like, look at all this copper, by the way. I've been here for almost an hour, and not a single bit of it has even changed in the slightest. That, to me, tell me if you disagree, but that seems like it's a bit of a problem. Also, we still... I just realized now we need to make one more slab for the for the bottom of it, and also I need to craft myself a lightning rod, because that is technically a block, or it's like a block-like thing. Honestly, the original... Can we not craft a copper thing? What does it need? It's just free copper, right? Am I dumb? Am I missing the lightning? Let's type in lightning rod. Let's see in which way I am dumb here, shall I? Oh, it's made from free copper ingots. I have copper blocks. Can I convert these into? I can. Oh, there we go. I guess I'll just make 3 of them then. I mean, what else am I gonna do? There we go. 3 copper lightning rods. I'll put them on the side of blocks just to be fun here, shall I? Maybe I should like specifically attract them. Yeah, if I put lightning down over, like, I don't know. I could put it on top of the 7 to make the 7 cooler as well. No, it has to be a block. It has to go in the in the collection. I'll put it down there. That's where no one expects it. And that's why it's such a good place for it. And, but yeah, I think we have this, like, over tendency to, like, assume great things that we've done are entirely ourselves, and the bad things other people have, and when other people fail, it's, like, entirely on themselves. But I think in reality, there's, like, such a weird space in between, because some people totally do deserve bad things that happen to them, right? There's no, even the most extreme people who are, like, tolerant of everything are like, yeah, but not that one thing. We have this one thing where we're like, oh, yeah, this is terrible, and anyone who thinks this isn't terrible should probably be shot or something. I'm not too sure. I just know I don't like it. I don't know what my proposed solution is. And so okay, this is smooth base salt. We're gonna put all of that away. I have a ton of here it is. Cobbled deep slate. Let's turn it into deep slate tiles. Again, love this machine, and I love that we can make slabs to make my life even slightly easier than it otherwise would be. And yeah, we can now finish off the outside. We have to get more calcite as well. Everything about this has been slightly bad. Some days, like, everything goes perfect, and I feel like, yeah, I'm doing really good today. And sometimes things go bad, and I feel like I'm doing something wrong if I don't also blame those bad things on myself. Like, it's interesting, because it almost feels like, that dumb thing we all do where we're like, oh yeah, things that go well are all on me, and things that go poorly are all on society. That almost feels like oh, look at me, I'm freezing to death. that even though that is a thing, even though that is a dumb thing when you say it out loud, it almost feels like it's, like, necessary to live in the world, right? Like, if you second guess yourself too much, you will do fewer good things than you could otherwise. But there's something I've never liked about, like, deliberately believing in wrong things. Like, if something is wrong, maybe we shouldn't deliberately believe in it. Don't we have a duty almost? Oh my god, my inventory is very bad today. One thing I can do is I can honeycomb wax. I can honeycomb wax 3 of these blocks right over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I can wax them off, get that achievement, and then wax them on again. And now we've got at least 4 brand new types of blocks. But we literally can do nothing now without waiting. And I don't have time because I've got, obviously, a hardcore... You're probably familiar with it. I'm working on a very big video that is also a series of live streams that I have to go do very shortly. So I'm going to go get lunch. I'm going to mine myself into a little cave here. And we're going to see how long... We're going to see what happens in the next couple of hours as I stow away and do nothing. And if it doesn't work, then I guess we consider ourselves a failure today. So I spent literally hours. I showered, I ate, I enjoyed a little TV and some YouTube. And then you know what? I come back and it's all still copper. There's one bit of slightly weathered copper stairs. Everything else, though, remains exactly as it. Actually, you know what's funny? All the blocks that are meant to weather aren't weathering, but my little sign actually has. So I'm going to have to scrape off that or move them over here or something. But either way, you can see that I have accidentally failed. Actually, wait, you know what? Let's at least make somewhat of a success of this. Okay, so now what I actually have is I have 3 very mildly exposed copper blocks. And because there's meant to be 64 variants, and I have 4 right here, I have 4 waxed versions. What I actually have is 11 of the 64 different types of copper. I have every deep slate block and every underground block, bar deep slate diamonds, and then I'm missing all of the moss. And that's just an objective failure. But here's the thing. I am going to recommend right now, if you have a challenge like this, if you're desperately trying to find those deep slate diamonds, or for some people, deep slate emeralds are harder, whichever one you've not found yet, that every single chunk that you go into right now will have fewer diamonds for the rest of time. That might not be a big deal for some people if you only want copper and gold and iron and, you know, like, for some people it's not a big deal, but because I'm like a big believer in making sure this world last for a long time, it's likely going to be tomorrow, maybe a week from tomorrow, that they fix this and they bring diamond spawn rates back up to normal. And so I literally can't bring myself to explore all these new chunks, desperately looking for moss, explore all these new chunks, desperately looking for all this stuff, because I'm so worried about what that will result in. Also, I heard a llama. We're going to go look. In case it's a trading llama, it'd be nice to get the drip leaf done at least, right? Nope. Did I imagine? Where is this? Where are the egg noises? You know, there. In fact, look at that. There is a wandering trading llama. I think he doesn't have a wandering trader though. I think he's just in here by himself. This is even more confusing. How did you get down here, friend? Anyway, so yeah, in the I think I failed kind of objectively here, but and it kind of hurts. I'm like, I wanted to do a thing. Now it doesn't become, oh yeah, can we get all the blocks? Oh, sorry, it's not we got all the blocks. It's can we get all the blocks? And the answer is no. But honestly, it's kind of nice to start challenges like this. But I think it's almost always important to be like, yeah, let's acknowledge when we failed. Let's try not to hurt, you know, let's try not to blame ourselves too much for it. Although maybe we should. Maybe we should be like, yeah, I failed you all. Look, I haven't even finished the calcite on the floor. But in the future, we can do all of that. And for now, I hope you all enjoyed this video, regardless of its failings. I'm going to have to spend literally 12 hours just in a sleep in a cave here or something. I'm really not sure. But then I'll have some weathered blocks. But since it's Monday, I can't do that in time for tomorrow. And what I can say is just don't explore as many chunks as you can until tomorrow happens. Tomorrow, or maybe it might be a week from now. But wait till the update if you want to protect your long-term world. If you don't care about your long-term world, then do whatever you want. Just make sure you do it fun. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, because I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.